Okay, hi. So I'm all set up today. I'm using my larger Dutch oven, and I've got my oven preheated to 500 degrees. And I'm going to do one of my keto pre-made meals. I post a lot of those on my Instagram. I like to prepare as much stuff as I can ahead of time so that I end up spending as little amount of time in the kitchen during the week when I get home from work. Usually I like to spend only between 10-20 minutes during the week in the kitchen in the evenings. So I'm going to do as much as I can ahead of time. So I've already got chicken thighs that I took the time to go ahead and debone, leave the skin on. I had some eggplant I want to use before that goes bad, and I have leftover cabbage, and I went ahead and just kind of cubed that. And then I'm experimenting, which I like to do. I have coconut milk and chicken broth, and I added some habanero seasoning with sea salt. That's what I added. A teaspoon of that to 3/4 of a cup, 3/4 of a cup each of the broth and the coconut milk. And then I use my emulsion blender on that to get that. I'll hit it again with a spoon before I pour it in. I've got a half a stick of butter that's softened and ready to go, and I'm going to put all that in the pot together really quick. Actually, I'll go ahead and start while I'm talking to you. So I like to do stuff in the Dutch oven when I can because it cooks up pretty fast and really tender when it's done. And I know my mom's going to laugh when she watches this, and I have used the word tender from a joke from the first time that I made meatloaf when I was younger. I used to not be a cook at all. So I'll go ahead and just put the eggplant in the bottom like that. And now, like I said earlier, I had gone ahead and deboned all the chicken thighs. I just used my kitchen shears and cut the bones out of the middle, and then just kind of rolled them back up into a roll so I can put them around, kind of like a pinwheel on the inside of the pan on top of the eggplant. I just kind of thought of this today as I was driving home because I knew I had the eggplant in the refrigerator that I wanted to use and the cabbage, and I really try not to have any leftovers or any wasted food as much as possible. Okay, so I lined the bottom of the pan with the eggplant steaks, and now I've taken the chicken thighs, deboned, and lined them around on top. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the half a stick of butter that I talked about, and like I said, it's softened. I like to keep my butter out and readily available. So any of you following a ketonic diet like myself, or keto adapted or not, might know butter is something that I love if you've seen any of my posts, and use it very frequently in everything. So I'm just going to smear this all over my chicken, and then I'll just put the rest right in the middle so it'll melt right down in the center. Sorry about that. Set that aside. And then I'm going to just take my cabbage pieces that I have chopped up into chunks. This was just, like I said, we had cabbage earlier this week. I had half a head left over, and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I figured I'd throw that in there. So again, experiment, and that's a healthy option. So now I've got kind of like a, almost like a trifle made out of eggplant, chicken, cabbage. And then this is my sauce, the one I was telling you about, that I made from the chicken broth, the coconut milk, and the habanero seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and put, look at that, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and stir this up. I think some of the seasoning had settled. I'm going to dump this in over top. And then I've got my oven preheated to 500, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this, put it in the oven now, and check it in about an hour. Is about all probably that it's going to take. Probably not even that long, but I like to give it about a good hour make sure everything's cooked all the way through. So I will post something later, either on my Instagram with the complete and the recipe with the macros for the meal. And thanks for checking it out.